Hello and welcome to Underpaid Gamers Podcast. My name is Justin. I'm sitting here next to my friend and colleague, Tony.
That's me.
Today we're going to be talking about a host of things. We're going to bring you the most
You are
recent
the
news.
host.
I am the host today.
We're talking about your things?
Mostly. My things are awesome.
A host of things.
A host of things.
A
I
plethora.
host lots of things in my brain. We're going to talk about the news, but primarily, at the end of the news segment, we will be talking about Civil War II.
The movie?
The comic book.
The comic book.
The creative rendition of
The American Civil War.
the American Civil War as given by a bunch of social studies teachers.
That's
Nope.
false.
That is not true. The Civil War Marvel comic book that's coming out. I don't know exactly when. Tony
The
has
second
all
one.
the information.
I do. I have
The
some
second
information.
one, version 2.
I have all the information at my fingertips, and I won't get any of it right. That's what I do here. I just do vague things.
Yes, so please enjoy. All right, and
That
we're
was our
back.
theme song.
It was so good.
We didn't say it beforehand.
I know, and I always compliment the theme song as well because, of course, you know, I'm the one who made it.
That was our theme song.
That was.
We have a tradition on the show to say when the theme song is happening, and we didn't do it that time. So I had to go back and say that that was it.
I don't know.
What you just listened to was our theme song. You're welcome, listener.
That was our theme song. Some things on the news docket.
Some
for
things.
Today, a game came out. Tony probably doesn't care about this game, or at least he didn't hear about it, I think, until I brought it to the attention of our news.
Is this Tharsis?
This is Tharsis.
Yeah, I don't know what it is.
Tharsis. I like strategy games, and this is a strategy game.
Oh, is that what it is?
That comes out actually
Strategic.
today when we're recording, but it's the 12th of January coming out for PS4, and it is a survival game.
On Mars.
It is. It's essentially you're in a spaceship, and you are on your way to Mars, and you have 10 weeks to go or something in the journey, and your ship gets hit by a meteor,
Oh.
and you have to survive. And it's based kind of like a board game in the way that it kind of goes through turns. You have 10 turns to survive.
Is the enemy the meteor?
The enemy is
How does that work?
space.
Man versus environment.
Essentially, it's like
Man versus nature.
yeah, it's man versus nature. It's also like you have their dice rolls that essentially decide your fate. You have to kind of
How do dice roll in space?
well, mostly they continue to roll until they hit an object.
Wouldn't it have to be like the perfectly shaped object for it to stop rolling?
I mean,
Because if it hits the ground, it's just going to bounce.
there has to be gravity. It has to stop eventually.
Right. But not in space. There's no gravity.
Well,
there's very slight
eventually
gravity.
they'll move into hopefully a gravity well, and then we'll know what happens to the dice.
So you have to roll a dice and then hope that you get close enough to a planet where they can land on the ground to find out what the roll is.
Yeah, it's a long game. So
A
everything's
new
decided.
planet every turn.
Yeah, I mean, essentially, it's all about the moons. And it lands on
That's
the
no
moons.
moon.
That is no moon. It's a space station! That's Star Wars, for those of you who don't know. Yeah, so essentially, it's a survival thing. And apparently, it's really hard. One of the reviews I read said each game...
Because the dice don't roll.
It's, well,
The main
they
problem-
never stop rolling. They just keep floating in space forever. The guy, I was reading an article talking kind of about the game. I think it was like from Time magazine. Again, another thing where gaming is becoming more mainstream. He said he played it each time he played, it takes like 20 minutes for the 10 rounds to go through. He said he played it 20 times and survived 3 times.
Wait, the game is quick because it only takes 20 minutes?
Yeah.
Or each round is 20 minutes? And there's
Each
10 rounds, so
game-
there's 200 minutes.
Each game can take about 20 minutes.
That's quick.
It is quick. So it's like an indie game, so it's not supposed to be some huge campaign or anything. But either way, it sounds intriguing to me. Probably will be checking that out as soon as I'm done playing Fallout 4, which is going to probably be
Coming
a
up
while.
quick.
No? No, dude.
You beat the campaign yesterday.
I actually didn't. I got really frustrated. I played
What?
one of the last missions for one of the factions, and I died.
Oh.
And I'd been playing for like 30 minutes through this mission, and I like prepped for it, and I died. I got real mad and turned it off. And I went to bed because I was like, this is dumb.
Did it kick you all the way back to like 30 minutes ago? Or was it?
It did. I mean, I have to redo everything.
That's rough.
And so my plan, now that I know how the mission goes down, I'm going to kind of prep for it in a more effective way.
Right.
So I didn't use my power armor in it, and I also didn't really shore up my defenses
Mm-hmm.
in a certain settlement. So
Sure.
I just need to...
Another spoiler. Non-spoiler.
non-spoiler. Very vague spoiler.
Because I still haven't played it.
Because he still has not
Even though I
played
got it
one
before
lick of it.
you did.
I'm so confused as to why that's the case.
It didn't grab me.
I feel like, yeah, no, I feel like we've talked about this before in one of our earliest podcasts. We talked about Elder Scrolls versus Fallout, and I was on the Fallout side, and you're on the Elder Scrolls side. And I just really enjoy Fallout. It's like my first love.
You know what happens in the very first scene of Skyrim? You're in a
dragon
ship,
freaking attacks.
and there's a dragon that attacks.
Yeah.
And someone's head gets ripped off.
It's crazy.
And it's insane. And it burns down the whole town.
Yeah.
You know what happens in the first 10 minutes of Fallout?
One of the best motivations for an individual
You
character.
get frozen.
Yeah.
And your son gets stolen.
And your wife gets killed.
And you wait. Well, yeah, that's true.
And you
wake
feel
up,
terrible, and you want revenge so bad that
you
you're
have
willing
nothing
to
to
do anything in the wasteland to save your children.
Really? Because then it doesn't really play that way. Because in the very beginning, you go out and you find the Minutemen,
Yeah.
and they're like, "Hey, let's go back to your settlement. Let's go back to your house that you used to live in 200 years ago.
Yeah.
We're set up a town. This has nothing to do with your son, but you have to do this now."
But that first group of people,
You know what happens
as
in
soon
the
as you
first
save them,
mission of Skyrim?
What?
You go fight that dragon, and you become a Dragonborn, and you get the shout.
that is
And
really
then you
cool.
can blow people up.
Except
what do you
for-
do in Fallout? You find a gun that doesn't even have a repair module, and you find
I don't want to
plethora of
repair
those
my guns. I want them to work all the time.
I
It's
hate
annoying
that.
having to manage your inventory like in Fallout 3
Annoying or
and
awesome?
New Vegas. Annoying.
You didn't like that feature at all?
Well, I mean, I was used to it because that's what the norm
The repair
was
feature?
for that.
You didn't like it?
But either way, back to your point. Oh yeah, the Minutemen. Except for the first mission where you meet them, the lady's like, "Oh, go to Diamond City, check it out," which is the next lead for the main storyline, tracking
what?
down your son and seeing how he
Never got that
survives.
far.
So exactly.
What else happens when you first meet the Minutemen? You get the most powerful suit of armor in the game. Real early.
Are you kidding? That's
then
not the most powerful
get-
suit of armor. That's like the crappiest power armor you can get.
But in the most previous games,
Mm-hmm.
the power armor was the biggest. It was the best. So when you see that at the very beginning, you're like, "Ah, this is awesome."
See,
and then you fight a Deathclaw, which is also one of the strongest enemies.
Mm-hmm.
Granted, this is not a very strong Deathclaw.
It is not.
But
It's not a strong Deathclaw.
they-
And you have a crappy
Listen,
piece of armor.
Bethesda blew their wad way too early.
See, and I think you're...
From someone that hasn't played the game for more than 3 hours.
Exactly. I was going to say, it sounds like you're pulling the classic politician move and oversimplifying the game, because power armor is not just you get power armor and then that's the end all be all. It's like there are lots of different types of power armor, and that can be a type of game.
You know what's really cool? I got my power armor. I found this hot rod paint job for power armor.
And
now
you
it just
put
has
it on.
flames all over it.
Nice.
I'm like, this is sick. Not that I'm ever going to take it out, because
You're
why
never
would
going
I?
to play that game again, but that's okay.
I will. But here's
hope
the
you
thing.
I want you to.
With
it's fun.
power armor, how often did you use your power armor? Or did you just leave it somewhere?
At the beginning of the game, I barely used it.
Yeah.
But now that I'm like late game, I use it actually a lot more.
Really?
For most of the there's a couple main storyline missions where
Do you get an extra carry weight with the
Yes,
power armor? Can
you
you
do.
carry more?
you do.
Because I'm like, if that doesn't happen, that's ridiculous.
You do. And you don't take falling damage because your power armor.
How often
Takes
do you
it.
fall?
I mean, I've fallen to my death a few times, actually. Once you get into the city, you have like these big skyscrapers and stuff.
And you just go up to the edge and like, wow.
And sometimes you get hit by super mutants with sledgehammers.
I don't know if I ever told you this. This reminded me. When I used to play Spider-Man 2 on the PS2, one of the best superhero games of all time, you could climb up the Empire State Building, which is the biggest building in the level.
Mm-hmm.
And Spider-Man would do this thing where it was really cool. He would run to the edge of the building, and instead of just like jumping off like any other other games, he would actually like do a dive mechanic. So he
Nice.
would dive first, very similar to Assassin's Creed,
Mm-hmm.
and then he would dive like that and hold the dive for as long as you wanted him to, and then you would swing out of it.
Nice.
When I had a friend over, which he lived down the road, so he'd come over all the time.
Yep.
We also have a contest to see who could get closest to the ground.
Ah, a little bit of ground chicken.
Yeah, who could get closest
Who
to the ground.
wins the ground? Chicken.
And then web swing and not hit the ground. So like it's like a 15 to 20 second fall in the game,
Mhm.
which is a long time when you're just falling.
I mean, yeah.
And then the web mechanic in Spider-Man 2 is there actually has to be like a building there. You have to be looking at a building to web swing.
Yeah.
So if you're not looking at the right building at the right time, when you web swing, you just hit the ground like face first.
Whoops.
Yeah.
That's a problem.
So that's fun. That was a good one. Listen, some things happened over the weekend.
Oh my gosh.
Some things that I think. Have you seen The Martian?
I have seen The Martian.
With Matt Damon.
I have.
What did you think of The Martian?
I thought overall it was good. It was an enjoyable movie. I
Mm-hmm.
didn't think it was spectacular. I don't think it really.
Did you think it had a good soundtrack?
I thought the music. I can't
Do you remember
actually.
the music?
I can't even remember the music, so I can't say if it was good or bad. I would
Did
say
you
that
think it
means
had
it's
a lot of
my
action scenes?
mediocre. I really wouldn't categorize it as an action movie.
What about drama?
I would say it's more of a drama.
Comedy?
There was comedy in the film, and a lot more than I thought there would be, but I don't think it's a comedy.
You know what? There's a lot of people that disagree with you.
I know.
Mainly the people at the Golden Globe Awards.
I know. This is so dumb.
The Martian was nominated and won for in the category of Best Motion Picture for a musical or a comedy. And as we said, the music was not memorable, so it has to be a comedy.
I mean, like I think sci-fi soundtrack, like Interstellar's, was very unique because it used an organ, and nobody really like uses organs anymore.
Right.
So that was like unique, and so I remember the music from that. I do not remember the music from The Martian.
Okay, so of the category, there's 5 movies. For best musical or comedy, The Martian won, as we have discussed, which I think is ridiculous.
Yeah.
Joy, the movie with Jennifer Lawrence, is also in this category.
Okay.
I haven't seen it. I know it's not a musical. I also don't
Right.
think it's a comedy, but it might be. Spy with Jason Statham, Melissa McCarthy, and Jude Law. That's a comedy. That belongs in this.
That is a comedy. You're
The
correct.
Big Short.
I don't even.
Is that
know.
a comedy?
I don't...
People always compare that to The Wolf of Wall Street, which I didn't think was a comedy either.
Well, maybe it's like the more classical definition of comedy. You know, like comedy versus tragedy. And like
maybe. And then
timey.
The last one on here is Trainwreck, which is a comedy. So of this 2, there's a clear comedy, Spy, and Trainwreck.
Yeah.
There's Joy and The Big Short, which might be comedies, and there's The Martian, that one that I would never, ever clarify or classify as a comedy.
Yeah, I think we don't like how they define comedy, because if this is it, then it's pretty inclusive to everything and really means nothing.
Mm-hmm.
So there's that.
They also did some other things which I thought were really good. Leonardo DiCaprio got Best Actor for The Revenant. Which
wait, hold on, go back. Is Channing Tatum on that list? Oh, my bad. Okay.
Bryan Cranston is.
Oh, Leonardo DiCaprio won it? Interesting. That kind of goes back to our last debate about Channing Tatum.
What movies did, what movies did Channing Tatum do this year?
22 Jump Street, I think. Was that this year?
I don't think that was this year.
I don't know.
Get Channing Tatum's facts straight.
Okay. Well, you can't tell me any movie that he's been in either.
Best performance by an actor in a motion picture, musical, or comedy. Again, Matt Damon won that.
Yeah.
For The Martian, which would be ridiculous if he didn't win that the movie one, because he was the only funny part in The Martian.
I mean, he is the movie,
right?
80% of the movie is him on the screen trying to survive. Like that's essentially the whole movie.
Inside Out won Best Motion Picture Animated.
I agree with that. I thought that movie was great.
Inside Out is funny.
I mean, it's.
Someone posted a video. They edited it.
Oh really? And they only have her real life.
No emotions.
Yeah, no emotions. It's actually not bad. I watched it.
Is it? They edited it because it's not in the movie. It's not chronological.
Yeah.
But they had to edit it so it's chronological.
Yeah.
I watched like the first 5 minutes of it.
I mean, it's not.
And I thought it was gonna be depressing. Some people also like to edit out the laugh tracks to like the Big Bang Theory.
Yeah.
And you watch it without laugh tracks.
Oh,
and it's really depressing. It's like not funny at all.
Oh man.
But I also don't like the Big Bang Theory.
That's like any YouTube video you watch where they like show a movie scene without the music.
Mm-hmm.
Like the whole throne room scene in Star Wars Episode 4 when they walk down and get their award from Princess Leia.
Oh, yeah.
Without the music, it's like the most
Someone's
awkward
like,
thing. Yeah. It's so great.
But yeah, so that's the funny thing. The Hateful Eight got the best original score for motion picture.
Okay.
We had to see that too. Sometime. Fast and Furious 7 is on here for best original song. Fast and Furious is one. Me and Emily are currently watching all the Fast and Furious movies.
Yeah,
I don't know if I've told you.
I'm not super impressed with the Fast and Furious.
What was the last one you watched?
I saw 1 and 3. And then I was done.
Wow.
I heard Tokyo Drift was really bad.
That's the third one.
Okay, I saw 1 and 2 and didn't see the third one.
There's 7 of them. And from what I understand, we just finished watching the fourth one like 2 nights ago. From what I understand is the first one is good, the second one is good, the third one is by far the worst. And then it dips down really low with the third one, and then it just skyrockets after that. So 4, 5, 6, and specifically 7.
Yeah.
I think 7, from what I've heard, is the best one yet. I've never seen it. I've never seen 6 either. I'll tell you once we finish it.
Yeah.
But what I understand is that they just get so much better, which is incredible.
I mean,
I don't know how that works.
I know the 7th has had a lot of success in the box office.
For whatever reason. I think
a lot
Paul Walker died.
Yeah, Paul Walker died.
So a lot of people win. And
there's a lot of word of mouth stuff with that movie too. I think when it first came out, a lot of people didn't go see it, but word of mouth. It was kind of like Avatar, where word of mouth really made it popular.
So opening weekend was really low, and everyone's like, "This movie was awesome.
Yeah.
Let's go see it."
And Paul Walker died, so
I'm like, I don't know.
that helped them.
But we're gonna watch it, and I'll tell you my review of it. But
yeah, let me know. Let me know what you think.
Fast and Furious is a movie series that I thought died or should have died. But
Right.
then somehow they put together Fast and Furious 7, and now it's they're planning an 8th one.
I mean, it's capitalism. We're gonna make money when we can. So,
What do you think is worse?
what?
Fast and Furious or
Channing Tatum.
Michael Bay Transformers?
Oh, definitely. Oh.
Oh,
Well, I love Transformers. Well, I mean, I
they
like
both have the good
Transformers.
cars. They're both cars.
Because when I was a kid, I watched Transformers on the cartoons.
On the cartoons. On that.
But
cartoon
Fast and
channel.
Furious 7, I like Vin Diesel.
Do you like Vin Diesel?
I do like Vin Diesel individually.
Do you like Mark Wahlberg? Who could beat up? Who would win in a fight?
Okay.
Vin Diesel or Mark Wahlberg?
Vin Diesel?
It's because there's no hair to pull.
It's because of Riddick.
Yeah.
The Chronicles of Riddick. That's enough for me to say that he's.
Who can win in a fight? The Rock or Vin Diesel?
Oh, that's hard.
Who's bigger, Vin Diesel or
Yeah,
Mark
I think the Rock.
Wahlberg?
I think the Rock is bigger, and I think
Well, the
Vin
Rock is
Diesel's
huge.
bigger than
Mark
Mark
Wahlberg.
Wahlberg. Yeah.
So
The
Vin
Rock is
Diesel could
pretty
beat
rich.
Mark Wahlberg.
Yeah.
How about Dominic from Fast and Furious, that character, versus
I don't know who that character is.
it's Vin Diesel
Okay,
in
gotcha.
the Fast and Furious movies,
Okay.
versus Mark Wahlberg's character in Transformers, whatever number that was,
Oh
with
yeah,
the dinosaurs.
Vin Diesel, easy.
Who do you think's a better driver? I would say Vin Diesel because he actually drives the cars. Where all
Yeah.
the cars that Mark Wahlberg drives,
He's like-
is sitting in.
Yeah,
And
he said it
he
in
just
the
sits there.
Transformers driving around. So I would say I wish Transformers was better. is
You
my
would hope
answer.
so.
I would hope so because
As an original series, Fast and Furious blows Transformers out of the water
Yeah.
because Transformers has so much good history and past stuff, and
Yeah.
the recent movies have just been trash.
True, but both have had financial success, which is weird. I hate how Transformers has had financial success, even the newest one. Like I was looking at lists with the whole when we were tracking Star Wars to see how well it did.
Yeah.
Like Transformers: Dark Side of the Moon is like on some of the highest
Which one is
grossing
that?
films.
Is that the third one? or
It's
the
like
fourth one?
it's the newest one.
Is that one of the Dinobots?
It was the one. No, it was the third one. Then I think it was one where Leonard Nimoy was the voice of the bad guy, and there was like a ship on the moon that was
That
crashed.
must be the third one.
I think it was, and like Chicago was destroyed.
Would you I heard this question the other day.
Okay.
Would you rather no more Transformers movies ever,
Okay. Like ever, or like
or any director
30
ever
years?
of any ever time for
Okay.
the rest of your lifetime, or Michael Bay Transformers movies?
forever?
Yeah.
I would rather no more.
I would rather absolutely no more.
I would
Transformers
rather have
movies.
no more Transformers movies than have more Michael Bay Transformers movies.
Really?
I would.
You don't think there's any good quality to Michael Bay Transformers movies?
I mean, CGI is cool.
Not even a nostalgia factor. Do you think the CGI in Transformers would somehow increase the CGI for other movie corporations?
What do you mean by that?
Like people would see, like, oh, I see how he did that. They put a lot of money into this. Now I can use that their information that they got from that. I can use that on mine, technology wise.
So are you saying like improving CGI as a whole because they're pushing the envelope?
Yeah.
I mean, I guess I could see that. I mean, with the first Transformers was I really liked the first one. Like we're trashing
With
Transformers pretty hard
With
right
Michael
now,
Bay.
but like that
Michael
first
Bay.
one with Michael Bay, like
My favorite
the
part,
first Transformers was actually like pretty sick
the
because we'd never seen something like that before.
we haven't. My favorite part of that first movie was right when Starscream transforms at the very beginning after he kills everybody.
Yeah.
They use the original sound from the 80s comic. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, that's awesome.
I
They never
remember
used
that.
it again.
They didn't. It was just that first one. It's
Yeah.
that one little throwback for fans.
But that's all right.
Is there anything else you want to talk about with the Golden Globes?
There's best television series, musical or comedy.
Yeah.
Orange is the New Black is on here.
Yeah.
I haven't seen it. Have you seen it?
Well, it's a nominee.
Well, it's a nominee.
Yeah.
Was it a comedy? Because I didn't think it was a comedy.
I
I thought Orange is the New Black was like a drama. I know
Again-
it takes place in prison.
Again, I think they're using that broader definition of comedy.
Ugh, they need to cut it out. Oscar Isaac is on here. He was the winner for best performance by an actor in a limited series or motion picture made for television. Oscar Isaacs is Poe Dameron,
Poe Dameron.
which is fun.
Good job.
Oh, I saw the other day, John Boyega tweeted
Yes.
out that the next Star Wars movie,
It's going to be darker.
yeah, and he's gonna be more brutal in it.
Oh, I'm so
Physical.
excited.
Isn't that
Oh,
super
man.
exciting?
I hope it is. I mean, if you look at episode 4 to episode 5, Empire Strikes Back is darker than episode 4. So I still think they're mirroring the original trilogy in just a general vibe.
How
as
is
well.
it? How is it darker? Remind me.
Darth Vader cuts off Luke's hand.
Okay.
There was
What with a what saber?
a light. Saber.
How can it be darker if there's lightsabers?
Oh my gosh! Stop it! This is not funny.
I don't
like it.
teaser.
Oh my gosh! Stop it. Darth Vader is no. I am your father. That line happens. So like the evil bad guy is actually.
Is that dark?
I think.
Or was that like Luke finally found his family?
And if you just like look at the whole Cloud City, I mean that whole fight scene at the end, like
yeah,
that's like just the mood, like the setting is dark and dreary, and like all of the dark shadows with the fight against Darth Vader, like. Freezing Han Solo and Carbonite is like evil and dark, and I don't know. I just feel like the general vibe of Episode 5 is way darker, and like Dagobah itself is kind of like swampy, mysterious, kind of. I mean, and he like Luke fights his his dark side ghost thing, like he fights that.
When he's on Dagobah and he goes into the cave and he fights that Darth Vader and he cuts open his face, his head and his face. Yeah. And it's Mark Hamill in the mask. I still have trouble seeing that now that I'm older and seeing that that's Mark Hamill. It's like...
Because
I know it,
the CG or whatever.
Well, I know it looks like Mark Hamill.
Not CGI,
I know it's supposed to be Mark Hamill.
Effects.
But I didn't know that was him until like a couple years ago.
Really?
Because
that must have been so confusing.
I don't recognize him. I didn't know what it was. I'm like, why does Darth Vader look like that? Because I don't know. If it was like his whole body, then maybe I'm like, oh yeah, that's
Do you get
Luke Skywalker.
Do you get what they're doing?
Yes,
I
get it.
Okay, just making sure. Because when I was a kid, I had no idea why that was that. But then as I got older, I was like, oh wait, it's symbolic for the dark side inside himself. Yeah, my gosh! All those things that they teach me in school that I thought I'd never use. Now I get it.
I don't understand. Even now, when I look, I just watched these movies recently, and I'm like, I know that's supposed to be Mark Hamill, but it doesn't look that much like Mark Hamill.
Yep.
So, whatever. Speaking of... Wait, that's not a good segue. I was going to say, speaking of bad movies, and we've only talked about good movies recently.
Segue.
Transformers. So, Ridiculous 6. Adam Sandler's Netflix, straight to Netflix, Ridiculous 6 movie.
Which is essentially making fun of Hateful Eight.
I think so.
I mean, it's released at the same time as Hateful Eight.
Ridiculous 6 came out first.
Yeah.
And it's a Western. And I feel like somehow Adam Sandler found out that there's going to be this Hateful Eight movie. He's like, I'm going to spoof this before it even comes out.
I like it.
Somehow, people say this is like the worst movie ever. Ridiculous 6. I haven't seen it. I don't want to see it. But somehow, it has broken Netflix records. The Netflix chief content officer, Ted Sarandos, said that The Ridiculous 6, which was released on Netflix in December, is the most watched movie opening in the company's history. And all of Netflix.
No way.
The Ridiculous 6 was the most watched history in all time. Are you
kidding?
And I don't know how that happened.
I don't know how that
I know that recently they have just expanded to 130 countries. 130 more countries, so maybe that has something to do with it. But I have no idea how The Ridiculous 6 got that many views. He was one of the movies that Adam Sandler signed on to do in Netflix in 2014, so Adam Sandler has more movies to sign on to. So you have that to look forward to. Adam Sandler.
I haven't seen it yet.
I don't think you will.
I probably won't. I mean, I thought about watching it the other day, but then I was like, you know what? I don't have time for this. And then I watched New Girl for like 6 hours.
New Girl was added. I forgot about that.
Oh my gosh.
Add it to my list.
New Girl season 4.
I
literally laugh in every episode out loud when I'm sitting in my room by myself.
That's what we want for people that listen to our podcast.
I know.
We want you to feel awkward, people.
Yeah. And laugh out loud by yourself in your room as you listen.
I just got my car. There was a recall on my car.
Oh no!
So I had a safety recall, so I had to take it to the dealership. And it took like 3 hours. While I was doing that, first of all, Genesis 3 is coming up this weekend.
Oh my gosh, Tony is so excited.
It's a huge Smash tournament.
You don't understand how excited Tony is right now.
There's going to be a crew battle, as we've talked about before, but crew battles, there's going to be 8 teams, and there's going to be like a championship bracket. So there's 5 people on each team, and if you have 4 stocks, you fight somebody, and then, like, say they take 3 stocks away, so you have 1 stock, but you beat them with 1 stock. You then fight the next person with 1 stock while they have 4 stocks, and you try to do it like that.
Yeah.
Anyway, that's a quick rundown of the crew battle. I was watching, there's a Scar and Toph show on Twitch, who are the two commentators
Smash
for Smash.
Commentators. They're real famous. Real famous. They retweeted us once,
and
right?
then they were, Scar did. In the Smash community, they're really they're really famous, or I guess really popular. Anyway, on their show, they had the draft for the crew battle, so they had all 8 of the top players drafting on the crew battle for their show. I was watching it on YouTube in the lobby while my car was getting fixed, and I was laughing out loud, and there's people around me, and I felt awkward. I want that kind of awkwardness for our listeners. Yes. I want them to listen to this in the lobby of the car shop while people look at them and think it's funny.
Laugh at us.
Just huck it up.
Yep.
Yuck it up?
I wish I had a joke, but I don't have one.
Here's a joke. Far Cry Primal doesn't have any multiplayer co-op.
Oh,
Slash, that's real.
I love how much you hate this game.
Let's think about this for a second. Far Cry Primal, as we've seen so far, is a lot of hunting. It's a hunter-gatherer society.
Right, it's like primal.
Right. So the goal is to take down like these big mammoths as a person.
Yeah.
You think you can do that by yourself? Don't you think it'd be cool to do that with somebody co-op with you? Don't you think it'd be fun to go out and just take down a mammoth, you and a buddy?
Why would I want to take down a mammoth when I could kill the person who's with me? That's how I approach multiplayer games.
What?
I'm going to kill my partner. I'm going to betray him in the back.
Is that how you play co-op games?
That's how I play co-op games.
What are you trying to say right now?
Think of all the times in Destiny raids when I would shoot you in the face. Or I'd try and knock somebody off the platforming part. It's my favorite thing.
You can't kill people, though.
Yes, you can. It's always a challenge, and I will always defeat my co-op people.
So you're saying you get no enjoyment out of co-op in a Far Cry Primal game?
Oh, no, it'd probably be great. I'm just trying to be funny.
Oh. Anyway, okay. So they announced this, and I'm like, this should be their best game for co-op. Taking down giant animals like that in a prehistoric era would be super fun for co-op.
Sure.
And they're just like, nope, single player only. I'm like, how does that work? I hate this game.
Yeah, Tony has strong feelings. I'm quite neutral because it's so far away.
I don't know when it comes out. I did see that Gears of War Fall is coming out in 2016.
Ooh, Gears of War. Another series I've never played and don't really care about.
Oh,
Xbox!
Another game for Xbox.
I like shooters, but I never really got into Gears of War.
I played Gears once because I didn't own an Xbox.
Yeah.
I played it at a friend's house or something. And I'm like, what is this? How do I do these things? Because the controls are so weird.
Yeah, and I thought the chainsaw on the gun was cool.
Yeah.
That was sick. But besides that, I didn't really like the story from my friend.
What if you could take the chainsaw gun and bring it into The Last of Us?
Dude, I would be unstoppable. I'm already unstoppable, but now I'm really unstoppable.
Would you need to sneak anymore?
No.
You're just like...
I would just run in town and just turn on the chainsaw and all the zombies would come running at me and I'd be like...
What if we combined games even further?
Okay.
And we added
Super Saiyan powers and I could just Kami and Spirit Bomb the crap out of everybody? Yeah, that's pretty sick.
Link's up B from Super Smash Brothers. However, instead of the sword, he has the machine gun, the chainsaw machine gun.
I love it. That's great.
Just spins around and kills everybody.
Now imagine that.
Okay.
That scenario.
Those 3 games together.
All those 3 games together. And instead of playing this normally in on a controller or on a screen, what if it was virtual reality?
Would I have to spin?
You would. Do you think you could stand at the end of this?
I assume I'd be sitting in my desk chair, which is a swivel chair, so I could spin.
You could.
However, my headset is connected with a wire, so I feel like I would not want to spin.
You would A, lose your headset.
Yep. B,
choke yourself to death. C, be super awesome at the game. Choose your answer wisely.
I don't want to do either of those.
Okay, B, you just choked yourself to death. Congratulations. Yeah, so
that's where virtual reality kind of falls on its
face. You like that segue I just made into the Oculus Rift? Price point was released this week. It is $600. Holy cow! Can you afford a $600 VR?
You remember who owns Oculus Rift?
Facebook.
Yeah. What if for every like you get, it's $1 less you have to pay?
Oh my gosh, I would be so poor.
What about all those kids?
Because nobody likes me, so I would have to pay.
What about all those kids in Africa that have cancer?
Oh, man.
We're stealing all their likes for our Oculus Rift.
Yeah.
Also, I heard that the PlayStation VR is gonna be twice as good as Oculus Rift.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, that's good.
I mean, think about it. PlayStation,
yeah,
a company that makes games, versus Facebook, a company that does Farmville.
True.
I don't even think they do it. I don't
know. Farmville, I've heard, is pretty addicting. I've never tried to wander into those parts of the woods, but I've heard before that you don't mess with people's Farmville. That's pretty serious stuff there.
Anyway,
serious gamers.
If you were going, if you were had to choose a company to build a new game system, VR, virtual reality, would you choose Facebook as a promoter, or would you choose Sony as a promoter?
Facebook didn't start the project. Oculus Rift.
No, but they bought it.
They did. They did buy it, but they didn't start it. So I would trust, you're right, a video game company to do it more, or I guess just like a tech company. I don't really think Facebook is like cutting edge.
Facebook's a marketing company.
I mean, essentially, like
it's advertising.
They made a product.
That's how they make.
That's how they revenue. That's their revenue stream.
It's marketing.
So advertising. So I would I think Sony.
So $600 for an Oculus Rift.
I'm not gonna pay $600 for a VR.
Something you can't even turn around in.
Look, I'm just gonna wait for the market to bring down those prices, which means I'm not gonna be playing in VR for years until it hits like a reasonable price. $600? Are you serious? I can do so much more with $600. Like I could buy 600 double cheeseburgers for $1 each.
Don't.
At McDonald's, and I can eat them all.
Don't.
I'll eat all of them. And they'll be delicious.
Not once, though.
I could go and I could buy what's something else that I could buy $600.
Buy 600 lottery tickets.
I could buy 600. I could win $1.5 billion on the Powerball.
Would you buy an Oculus Rift then?
No.
Just as a point.
I would not. I seriously would not buy it for if I had that much money. I'm not interested in this. I
VR as a whole or the Oculus Rift?
I like VR. I like the idea of VR, but I think at this point, it's not developed enough where it's gonna be enjoyable. Like I'm gonna wait. It's like when the iPhone came out or like when iPads came out. Generally, my approach to like new versions of tech is to wait.
When the iPad first came out, it was literally just an iPod with a bigger screen.
I mean, essentially,
they couldn't do anything.
My approach to these things is to wait a couple generations of the device before you buy it, because the first one is going to be revolutionary, yes, but it's going to have really crappy features because nobody's thought through everything and all the problems haven't brought up yet. So after you wait a couple generations, then you're good. What
part of this VR situation do you not like, and what would you enjoy about VR? What is restricting you from buying this one at $600 other than the price, and what are you waiting for them to install?
For me, so besides price being my number one thing, the other thing would be just the fact that I haven't really seen VR used well. Like, I want it to be something that's not like a gimmick or not something that is like added as a secondary. Like, I want this to be something that actually makes you more engaged in gaming. If it can do that, which is what I'm kind of looking for in VR, like the end goal, I guess, would be you're more immersed in the gaming world. Like, if that's the case, then I'm all for it. But I feel like at this point, the tech isn't going to be developed enough that it's really going to add to anything. It's just going to be one of those things that's kind of cool that you use sometimes. But it's like the 3D on the 3DS. Like, who actually uses the 3D on the 3DS? Like,
no one.
Very few people actually use it for more than ever. Like, every now and then I'll turn it on and be like, oh yeah, that's cool. And then turn it off again.
I think the whole point of the 3D on the 3DS is not made for someone of adult stature.
Yeah.
Because the way I hold my 3DS in my arms, it is a farther distance away than like a kid would.
Yeah, you have to hold it like.
So you have to hold it like
6 inches from your face.
like 8 to 12 inches away from your face to get the full effect of the 3D. And I'm always holding it like 3 feet away. I think that's just because I'm an adult and it's marketed to kids. However, that's how Nintendo always does things. They always market things to kids and they sell a truckload of them.
Yep.
I.e., the Wii,
the Amiibo,
the Game Boy.
Yep.
The 2 Amiibos I have right there that I don't have a Wii U for.
Yep. It's pretty rough.
I got my Falco and my Marth Amiibo. When I was at Best Buy, because I haven't seen them. First of all, Marth has been going. They haven't made a whole bunch of Marths recently. Well, they just did, but before that they hadn't. It was on eBay for like $60. Amiibos are normally like $14, so I didn't buy that. Finally found one for like $14, bought it. Falco, also my other main in Smash, bought. I got these awesome sick posters.
They are pretty sick.
From Etsy.
It's like artistic looking
Marth and Falco.
Marth and Falco posters. They're pretty sick. It looks like paintbrushes. I'm trying to describe it as best I can.
I'll just tweet them out later.
You should.
Then everybody can see them.
Yep, because everybody follows us on Twitter. And if you don't, you should.
I should just I should just tweet out my whole setup because I got a lot of cool stuff.
You do have a lot of cool
stuff. I got that shelf full of things.
You got Spider-Man.
I got that shelf full of things.
You got Spider-Man.
Video games.
You got
posters.
Armament.
Got candy all over the place down there.
You do have some candy down there. It's looking pretty delicious.
Yeah.
Starting to tempt me a little bit
with
that.
Xbox, another Xbox game.
We love to harp on some similar things between podcasts, and one of them is Xbox. and how we like Sony.
Xbox One.
I don't know if you can tell, but we like Sony.
Xbox 360 is a good system.
I
Xbox
like 360.
There's a guy at work who's like, I think I'm going to buy a new Xbox. I'm thinking I'm going to buy a next generation game. Should I get the Xbox One or the PS4? I rambled off like 15 reasons why the PS4 is better. Right. Based on our episode of the console war.
Yeah.
So like, PS4 sold like double. PS4 has better computer power. PS4 is this. PS4 is that. Xbox doesn't have this.
Like, now, the original Xbox was good. I liked it.
Yeah. It came out
didn't have a lot of
year
success.
after the PS2.
Didn't have as much success as PlayStation.
Listen, it was going up. It was competing against the best-selling system of all time, discounting the Wii,
which is
the PS2.
We do. By the way, Xbox One finally got a game that has been on PS4 forever. For free. It was a free-to-play game that when I first got my PS4, which was like a couple months after the PS4
I think it was on PS3 before the PS4.
Yeah, I think it actually was.
It's an MMORPG.
MMORPG with our not as favorite comic book universe, though we respect it.
DC
Universe came out and it's been out forever. PS4 and Xbox One finally
got DC Universe. Is it free?
DC Universe.
Is it
free I believe it's still free to
okay.
Free to
because it's free to play on PS.
Yeah.
PlayStation. I played this. I thought it was really fun. You essentially get to go in. You get to make a superhero. You can make them. You give them powers and stuff, so you can choose flight, you can choose acrobatics, you can choose this and this and this.
It's like City of Heroes. If you play that MMO, it's essentially the same game, except for now it's set in the DC universe.
Yeah, so like there's Gorilla Grog, there's all these other things.
Yeah,
that are really cool. So Xbox One just announced that they're getting that, I guess. And then I saw the other day that PS4 and PC are announcing crossplay for that. So you can play with your friends on PC while you play on PS4, while Xbox One's sitting in the corner not doing anything.
So PS4 is still a step ahead of Xbox in this. And are we really surprised? No. Not at all. We're not surprised.
I don't know what's going to happen in the next generation with Xbox.
I mean, there's still so many people out there who are all about it. And we know that gaming companies can have a bad generation and still exist. Talk about Nintendo. Wii U, they're still around. GameCube was pretty much a failure.
Except for Melee.
Except for Melee was awesome, but I mean that's like really that's
Pikmin?
the only thing. I mean Pikmin was good too, I guess, but just like the weird control, the funky controller. We know from the console wars, we know GameCube didn't sell as much. It wasn't as successful. Yet Nintendo's still around.
Wasn't GameCube going up against the PlayStation 1, 2?
It's going up against PlayStation 2 and the Xbox.
Listen, there's no contest. PlayStation 2 versus anything, PS2 is going to win.
PS2 is awesome. I just saw a funny meme the other day, and it had a picture of an old PS2, and it said...
Best DVD player.
Yeah, best DVD player I've ever owned. I've gone through like 8 regular DVD players, and my PS2 still works 10 years later. And I was like, that's right.
PS2 is awesome.
My PS2 still works, and my PS1 still works. So, I'm pretty happy.
I was watching this the other day. It is Awesome Games Done Quick. It is speed runs, essentially. It's a speed run. That's not a competition. It's like they all get together and do speed runs, and people donate money to it, and the money goes to this cancer prevention organization.
Yeah.
So a lot of times they have like you can just donate. They have goals for specific games. They have like dollar goals for specific games. They have like donation like bid wars.
Okay.
Bid wars. So like you can donate to this thing, or you can donate to this thing. Mm-hmm. Whichever one has the most money at the end wins. So that's kind of fun. But I was watching this. I saw it on Reddit. There are so many games that they do speedruns of. Some games that I wouldn't even know. Final Fantasy IV, it looks like. Mm-hmm. There is Metroid, Super Metroid. There is Fire Emblem, Radiant Dawn. I didn't even know you do speedruns of. This is a strategy game. Ratchet and Clank is on here. Legend of Zelda. All these random super awesome games. Pokemon Yellow, all these things. And then they have that. Then they also have different categories that they do. So the one I was watching while you came in was Transformers Devastation.
Yeah.
One-handed controller.
It was impressive.
So this guy's doing a speed run using only one hand on his controller, and he has to get a specific percentage of the game complete.
I was impressed. As soon as I watched it, I was like, what are you watching?
Right?
Like, I saw Transformers. I was like, what? And then he's like, dude, he's doing that with one hand. I was like, oh my gosh.
Yeah, it's insane.
That's really cool.
The one that got me into... there's this one right here. Dungeons & Dragons, Shadow over Mystara, Cleric, percentage, no deaths.
Nice.
So I assume that'll be hard. A lot of these are either any percent, which means you just finish the game as soon as possible, or 100%, which means you have to 100% the game and then finish. Nice. So obviously different categories there. The one that I watched was Super Metroid, any percent used, I believe, and it was 2 players, 1 controller. So one guy was controlling the arrows, and one guy was controlling the face buttons.
That's ridiculous.
And the one I watched, which was of this year, they broke the world record.
That's like when people play through things with like Guitar Hero controllers, or like beating a game with a Dance Revolution pad. Like I love that. I love that type of stuff. Yeah, like the Crota Zen thing. So
I watched them and I'm like, this is insane.
That is, I mean, it takes a lot of skill and dedication, because I'm sure
if you watch them, they like, because in Metroid Prime you have to shoot the doors in order to get them to open.
Yeah.
They shoot the doors like 5 seconds before you can even see the door, and the missile carries over and opens the door.
That's crazy.
It's like two guys that just normally do
like memorize
speed runs. They have everything memorized.
That's crazy.
Like, this is insane.
That's a lot of work. That's more work than I'm willing to do. But I'll watch it.
But the thing is, awesome games done quick. I've been watching a lot of speedruns recently, just because I think they're really interesting. I saw someone do a Kingdom Hearts speedrun. I've seen that Transformers one with the 1 controller. I've seen the 2P1C, which is 2 people, 1 controller, Super Metroid. It's incredible.
It's some cool stuff.
Watch it. Take some time out of your day and watch it.
Is that added to my homework list?
Yes. Awesome games done quick. I just clicked out of it, but they had raised over like $1.6 million.
Man.
In the weekend or whatever, however long they were doing it, for that cancer prevention. They do it biannually, so there's one in January and one in July. They always raise so much money.
Nice.
I want to say that speedruns are like this underground thing, but they're not. Every donation, they have an average donation. The average donation for this last one was like $37.
That's pretty good.
That's a huge donation.
That is a huge donation.
For an average. A lot of people donate like thousands of dollars. Yeah. People donate like $200.
And I know a lot of times they stream it on Twitch. I remember logging in. I can't remember. It was like a couple months ago, and they were having a Final Fantasy speedrun. They were having a competition to see who could beat all of the Final Fantasy games, starting with Final Fantasy 1.
Really?
Going through all, like, skipping the MMOs, but going through all of, like, the single-player games. I was like, holy cow.
Did they have an estimated time?
They had played for, like, 26 hours, and they were on Final Fantasy 7. So I was like, that's impressive.
That's rough.
That's really impressive. And they were actually both teams.
That's like the best filibuster of all time.
I know. It's really, like, the longest thing.
Maybe that'll be a bad filibuster. Because the point is to get it done quick.
Sometimes I feel like, as a teacher, I could do a filibuster very well. Because I'm pretty good at talking about nothing and going on tangents. I could just go on a tangent forever.
You do, but after about 59 minutes, you
you get me at the... I've already talked all day long by the time that you get me. So I don't want to hear that. I don't want to hear it.
Here's the thing. Civil War 2. Not the movie.
Bum, bum, bum.
The comic book. Excited?
This is going... I had no idea when I walked into this room that we were going to talk about this. We had some other plans of what we could do.
Even though it was on our podcast list of notes, clearly stated Civil War 2.
I know, but
with a link to the website.
It was in the news section, and I just add stuff to the news section. I don't read your stuff because I want to be surprised, you know? Like... You put forth a lot of effort, and sometimes you're like, what do you think of this? And I love that our listeners get to see my first reaction, which usually is pretty neutral.
I do like that.
I'm like,
as opposed to mine, which is always hateful.
Yeah, that's cool. Like... Yeah, man. Except for sometimes we disagree, and then we get salty. Well, I get salty, and you just are like, whatever.
Anyway.
Either way, Civil War 2, holy cow.
There's a poster on here. I don't know if this is the actual poster. I kind of doubt it, because they just started talking about it.
Yeah.
Again, this is about the comic book, not the movie. Obviously, Captain America Civil War is coming out this May. This has nothing to do with that just yet. But what happens is, like, a lot of the writers and editors of Marvel, it's a semi-annual editorial retreat in which the next few years of the publisher's comic book storylines are brainstormed. So they kind of all go to this cabin in the woods, and they're away from everybody for however long, and they talk about what they're going to do for the next 5, 10, or 20 years, which is insane that they do this.
That is
but
a long
I like
time.
it. Other things that have came from this, it's always like a top secret affair, and it's restricted to writers and editors of Marvel, but for whatever reason, they had a daily news reporter there this time, which is daily news reporter there this time. But he was obviously warned he can't say anything more than 6 months before they can read the story for themselves, something like that.
Wow.
But past incarnations of this retreat yielded Civil War, the comic book, which is delicious. I love it.
Delicious. You've heard it here first.
Age of Ultron, not the movie, the actual
the
story, and then also Winter Soldier. Those 3
all got turned into
huge blockbusters.
Yeah, in the Marvel Cinematic Universe.
And they're all good stories, just in general.
Yeah, we liked those.
Civil War was fantastic.
Yeah, I mean, it's I would say, one of the most common, highly recommended comic books for Marvel that I've heard of. Like, with different types of graphic novels. Like, people are like, oh, what graphic novel should I have? Well, do you know about comic book characters? Yeah, Civil War.
Right?
That's what I hear most often. Like, if you actually know generally comic book characters, Civil War is almost always in the list, up there with some of the other ones, but which we've talked about, I think, before. Spider-Man Blue, I've heard a lot.
Yeah.
From you. Particularly you, I've heard that one from.
Right.
And also
Caleb. I haven't read it.
My friend Caleb. He
Caleb
loves Spider-Man Blue.
That's to do with Gwen.
Yeah.
Not Stefani.
It's all real sad. It's real sad.
Anyway, so the top of the agenda for this one, their meeting they had was Civil War 2, which is a sequel to what they said was the best-selling 2000 event series that pitted Iron Man against Captain America. It came out in 2007. It was kind of almost like a post-2001, post-9/11 type thing, where it's national security versus personal liberties. Obviously, we're going to see that in the movie where Iron Man's like, listen, everyone should be registered. Everyone needs to know what's going on. And Captain America's like, listen, nobody gets to know who I am.
Right.
Except for everybody.
Except for everybody already knows who he is. I think it's really about Bucky. I mean, that's essentially...
The movie is, but not the actual story. He's just like, listen, we can hold ourselves accountable without people knowing. Like, we don't need to... The government doesn't need to know who we are.
Yeah. Kind of like the libertarian viewpoint with the government.
Sure.
Politics!
Anyway, the Captain America Civil War is obviously a movie coming out May 6th. This one, however, is going to be more about... well, I have it right here. A mysterious new Marvel character comes into the attention of the world, one that has the power to calculate the outcome of future events with a high degree of accuracy. This predictive power divides the Marvel heroes on best to capitalize on this aggregated information, with Captain Marvel leading the charge to profile future crimes and attacks before they occur, very similar to Minority Report. Mm-hmm. And Iron Man adopting the position that punishment cannot come before the crime.
Right, which, I mean, I feel like most of us are like, dude, you can't be putting people in jail if they haven't even done anything, right? That's like crazy. Like, you can essentially do whatever you want if you have the power to arrest somebody. Be like, oh yeah, this guy, he's gonna do something in the future, so you can go ahead and arrest that guy.
What if someone walked into like a bank with a machine gun? He hasn't robbed anything yet, but he's there in the bank with a machine gun with the intention to rob. Can you then arrest him, or do you have to wait for him to actually say, "Give me the money"?
Well, in that case, he's probably trespassing, and fully automatic submachine guns are not a legal firearm to possess and carry around.
If you brought him into court, you couldn't say with the potential to rob a bank. You could just charge him for the things that he has done already?
I would think so. I mean, it wasn't he didn't like attempt anything, but he was illegally possessing.
That wouldn't be an attempted robbery?
I mean, did he try and rob them?
I don't know.
I mean, I'm not a lawyer, so I can't
what if
tell
he has a ski mask?
What he did.
If he has a ski mask, then do you assume that he's attempted robbery?
Maybe. I don't know.
What
do you think?
I don't know, probably. I don't know. In this one? Okay. So in Civil War number 1, Iron Man's like, listen, everyone needs to be registered. The government needs to keep tabs on everybody. Captain America's like, no, I don't want that. This one, Iron Man's like, we can't punish people for things they haven't done. Captain Marvel's like, I know what's going to happen. I'm going to stop it from happening. Right. I kind of agree with Iron Man in this one, but he's kind of like the wait and see kind of person. Yeah. However, with this new Marvel entity saying, I know that they talk about later in this article about how one new Marvel character is going to be killed, like a main character is going to be killed in this.
So here's the question.
So I think the mysterious new Marvel character, whoever that is that can see the future, is going to be like, this person's going to die in this scenario. Mm-hmm. And then you're going to see through Civil War 2 all these things leading up to the scenario that he said, and it's predicted accurately. Yeah. And Captain Marvel's like, we have to stop this guy from killing our friend. And Iron Man's like, I don't think he's going to kill him. We have to see what happens.
You think that's how it's going to
So in this situation, yeah. What do you think?
I mean, is that what it says? Is that what you're reading? Because that just seems like so specific. I mean, I feel like all the problems with this scenario is the fact that it takes away people's choice. Like, it's first off, it's assuming that there's only one choice that people will always make. Just saying that the future is set in stone, and so like that gets kind of iffy because some people, it's like the whole argument about free will. Like, if you can see the future, does that mean that's what's going to happen no matter what, or is that just what's going to happen as of right now if nothing changes? Because essentially you're saying that there's one timeline that has to happen if you're gonna arrest somebody and say like, oh yeah, this person, they're gonna do this in like 3 months, so we might as well just arrest them right now.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you don't know what's gonna happen in the next 3 months. Everybody's got free will. Like, maybe as of right now that would happen, that would change, or that would be what would happen. But things can change. People can make different decisions.
They do say, as I said, they have been quoted to say that there is someone that's going to die in this Civil War 2.
Okay.
And they go and they talk to the writers.
And it's gonna be a major character.
Yeah, they were talking about how Peter Parker, Spider-Man, might die.
Yeah.
But then the writer, the Amazing Spider-Man writer Dan Slott says, I doubt that's gonna happen. They try to kill off Peter Parker all the time, and I was convinced them not to. Essentially, is what he said.
Nice.
And then they also talk about the Human Torch might be someone that dies.
I'm cool with that.
Which would be awesome. Except what they really said was, he burns people, and that's so horrible to illustrate.
Yeah.
So like, if he's gonna fight for his life and he's just like burning people, that's gonna be
really
a super like R-rated comic book.
Oh, I mean,
right?
It's gonna be so dark,
right? So I don't think that's gonna happen. Some people say that a hero might commit suicide, but then they and how they would tie that into like cyberbullying and stuff like that. But a lot of people are like, well, we can't have a major Marvel superhero commit suicide.
Right.
So they took a break, and it looks like they came back and they had like this best, the best answer that's obviously not in this article, but that everybody agreed on. So I think they've agreed on who's going to die.
So they came together and made a decision on who's going to die, and we don't know.
Right.
Oh my gosh! I think it'll be something huge. I think it's Iron Man.
You think Iron Man?
I hope not. He's my favorite character in Marvel, but it might be. What if this is the end of Iron Man? Because I know a lot of the comics kind of ran out of things to do with him because, like, his internal struggle was always like alcoholism and pride, and they've hashed that out with plenty of comic books. So his internal struggle's done. His external struggles, like every comic book character can always have more external problems, but it's always the same thing over and over again. There's a bad guy, you got to beat him. You beat him.
Mm-hmm.
So I think because they've kind of flushed out his inner character, that I think now could be the time.
I think what got you the most excited about me talking about this is there's a poster on this website.
And it looks so cool.
It has a Civil War title. Maybe I'll tweet this out too. And it's very similar to Civil War 1, where it's Iron Man against somebody, which was Captain America, but now it's Captain Marvel.
Yeah.
Iron Man has something against captains.
He does.
He has something against authority.
I think he does. I think we get that. He's very narcissistic and questions authority and kind of does whatever the heck he wants.
Anyway, on Captain Marvel's side, Spider-Man is there, because Spider-Man's always going to be in the middle of something. He's the most popular Marvel character. And then She-Hulk is there. But on Iron Man's side, who is that in the back?
Wait, is that who I think it is?
Who is it, Justin?
Is that I can't even say it right now. It's so hard. I'm so excited. Guardians of the Galaxy.
Mm-hmm.
Star-Lord! Is it really him?
Well, that was a large workup.
Yes, I was trying to make.
There.
I'm trying to make it exciting. Come on, man. Star-Lord.
How many people just clicked out because they just wanted to not wait?
How many of you laughed out loud? Raise your hand. Oh wait, we won't ever know. We will never know unless people will send us electronic letters.
Hey,
which is fine with us. Emails.
So Star-Lord is in this, which is interesting.
Yes.
There's also someone in the back which doesn't look like Human Torch. So I think that's probably the new person. If this is actual, it says this picture is courtesy of Marvel Comics.
Yeah.
So maybe they've actually.
It makes sense too with what you've described with like a mysterious character in the middle of the whole situation. So it makes sense.
So I don't normally buy comic books, but once this releases, I might go out and buy it. I have Civil War. I think Emily got me the hardbook cover of Civil War, which is like 1/4 of the actual comic book, and like 3/4 like what all went into it. So all the like background stuff.
Yeah.
This one looks so good. I'll probably buy it.
Nice.
It's exciting. I don't know how I feel about siding with Iron Man.
I know you always hate all the characters that I love.
That's what makes us interesting.
And this is the reason why he's having trouble, is because he knows how much I love Iron Man. He just has something against him because I love him so
What's so good about Iron Man?
He's so great.
Tell me why.
I mean, why do people like Batman? It's like the exact same character, just Marvel's version.
Yeah, why do people like Batman?
Because he's smart and he's snarky and he's a little bit dark.
Snarky.
Iron Man
in the
is
Christian Bale movies, when was he ever snarky?
Okay, he's not really snarky in those, but Iron Man is snarky. He's
in
kind
the
of like
comics or in the movies or in both.
Both. he's like a darker character because he has all these struggles that he goes through. And
his chest plate looks like Jim from Legend of Zelda.
It looks like an Infinity Stone from here. What? No, that's crazy. Too much. Who knows? What if that's it?
What do you think about Captain Marvel's look right here?
Well,
if
our
she has
viewers
I'm going to tweet this.
See this. Okay,
so
good.
she has very short hair.
Yeah.
Which is interesting for female characters. She's also not the only female character She-Hulk's back here.
All right, I see that. I actually did not know that was a female.
In the back?
Because I guess the angle on
the laptop
is like I can't see. So I don't know. It sounds interesting. I hope you get it so I can borrow it. Because I'm not paying for anything. Let's be honest. I'm poor.
It's gonna be awesome.
All right.
I'm excited for it.
I can tell.
As I've said.
You are.
I don't know. Let me see if I can find a release date. I don't think it will be. Hold on. Let me read this. As the story unfolds, this new seer predicts the hero in question will be the cause of a major incident of destruction in 3 days, requiring the other good guys to make a tough call. The writer just hasn't figured out what or how bad the cataclysm will be. The writer says it's a fall somewhere between Hitler and self-defense.
Oh, what? What does that mean? I don't know what that means.
Obviously, Hitler is on the spectrum of worst things that happen. Hitler is on one side, and self-defense is like a 1. Like Hitler's like a 100, and self-defense is like a 1.
Yeah, well, let's be honest. Hitler's like 1,000, and
so I guess this story takes place over 3 days.
That's nuts.
So I assume this is the hero that dies. The hero in question is the one that dies, I assume. So I think Captain Marvel will be like, we have to kill this before they like kill everybody.
Yeah.
And Iron Man, who might be the hero in question, is like, no, I'm not going to do it. You know how like some movies, things in the future get predicted.
Yeah.
And people are like, no, I'm not going to do that, and then they kind of because they're trying not to do it, it happens.
Right. I hate those.
So. What
if that's what happens?
Iron Man's like, no, I won't do it. No. And then by him not wanting to do it, it's in his head, and then whatever he does, he like falls backwards into it.
I hate it. I don't want it to happen.
What if that's in the Infinity Stone in his chest, and then he gets blown up?
Oh
he's
my
like,
god!
No, I can control it because I'm stuck up Iron Man, and I'm arrogant, and I'm the best, and I created Ultron in the movie, which was stupid. And then Captain Marvel's like,
but then he made Vision, which is sick.
He made Vision the same way he made Ultron. He didn't learn anything in that movie. The only reason that he made Vision is because Thor comes down with his lightning and is like, stop this. Which he was an unaccounted for catalyst. Iron Man's not a scientist.
Yeah, he is.
Iron Man's barely an engineer.
He's an inventor. He's an engineer.
This is ridiculous.
Okay, he just made a super awesome Iron Man suit that makes him on the level of like a Norse god.
Who's what? His Iron Man suit that he fights Thor in the first movie? Right.
I mean, you can't argue that his suit is not effective. That's like the worst argument I've ever heard. There's all these comic book. He's one of the major comic book characters because he makes super awesome suits all the time.
His suit is effective.
That he fights gods with.
But so does
like Thanos.
So does Captain America. Okay. And Captain America doesn't have a suit.
Yeah, he's
an
inventor. Are you trying to say he's an engineer? Are you kidding me? No.
He is the inventor of the knuckle sandwich.
That Captain America has good about him came out of a bottle from Tony Stark's dad.
They didn't have a good relationship with.
True. Which is hashed out of movies.
All of Iron Man's nemesis are created by Tony Stark. If we need to get into it, we can get into Age of Ultron. We can talk about how Tony Stark created Ultron to protect the world, even though people told him not to.
Yeah.
And then how his plan to stop Ultron was to create another one without changing anything, without Jarvis. He had Jarvis on like a backup computer. So Jarvis is already infested with this Ultron virus. He goes and puts it into another robot, and then for whatever reason, Thor shows up. He's like, "Stop this!" And he hits it with lightning instead of breaking it.
No,
it just
I feel like there's
Vision.
something else that's different too. I just can't remember because I haven't seen that movie in a while. Because then they learned from their mistake, is what happened. There was something.
He never learns from his mistakes.
No, there was something.
Show me some character progression from Iron Man.
You're putting me on the spot here, and I was unprepared for this debate.
Is he not your favorite?
I mean, he gets
superhero?
over alcoholism. That's a problem he has.
Where?
And gosh. See, I'm not ready for this debate. And I also need to go.
Next time.
Eventually we'll finish this conversation.
Next time on Underpaid Gamers. Maybe not next time.
Maybe
sometime
eventually in undisclosed future episode.
Is Iron Man anything? Is Iron Man efficient?
I mean, I feel like that's an easy one to win. Is he anything? Yes, he's something. Win. Yay. All right, just as always, if you ever
Ironman debate.
want to get in contact with us, you can email us at Underpaid Gamers Podcast.
We should do the Ironman debate while we do the Ironman Melee tournament.
Oh my
Which
gosh.
is you use a character, and then if that character loses, you use the next character on the roster.
Oh my god. You want to do a crew battle? Is that what you're saying?
It's an Ironman.
Oh, okay. Either way, if you want to get in contact with us with email,
that'd be awesome.
underpaidgamerspodcast@gmail.com. If you want to tweet at us, we're at UPGamersPodcast. If you want to like us on iTunes by rating us 5 stars or whatever you feel is necessary, but I hope it's 5, and leave a review, you
I'd
can
accept
do that.
4.
If you are
Even
on
3.
SoundCloud, please follow us, like it, like this track, repost it,
Is it
share
called
it.
reposting?
It's called reposting.
If you want to see these pictures I've been talking about, I'm going to put them on Facebook.
Yeah.
I'm going to put them on Twitter.
Not Facebook. We don't have a Facebook.
We don't have a Facebook. So I'll just tweet them out, and you can see those pictures are awesome. Those pictures aren't very awesome.
So, thanks for listening,
I'm
guys.
excited.
And we will see you next week.
Adios, muchachos.